The Sciforror Film Podcast. Hello and welcome to the Sciforror Film Podcast. I am Andy Walker and I'm here once again with my son Scott. Hello, Scott.
Hello there.
How are you?
Tired.
It's very hot today.
It is very hot and I've been working in it all day and it's drained me.
I'll chop your hair and your beard off. Don't get so hot then.
I don't think that would have helped. The joys of the job that I do, there wasn't any shade and I had to be in the sunlight the whole time and it's just...
Got to wear an hat.
I was.
Okay. Right. Should we get on with this?
Yeah.
Okay. This week we are looking at three films, two short ones and a long one. I got a bit lost what I was saying there for a minute. So yes, we're going to start off with the short ones, and the first one is a film made in 2022 called From Outside. This film was made by Kevin Parker, and there's not really a lot more details that I can give you as such. Yes, so the synopsis says 3 young teens are lured outside by something that is making its presence dreadfully known. Now, I don't know about you, but it's not the most brilliantly made film.
No.
Some of the acting I felt was a bit flat, and some of the sound is a bit quiet and odd. But
yeah.
It works in a way because the tension build-up is done quite well. And the final sort of jump scare bit is not bad. I don't know. I get the feeling this is probably one of the first things they've done.
I hope so.
Yeah. I think it's a good starting place. If it's one of the first things they've done, it's a good starting place.
Yeah.
And it's something that they can build on. But it's yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't overly convinced with this film. There were certain bits of it I liked. I will say I understood why they were doing it for the whole atmosphere thing, but the high-pitched frequency noise coming through the phone really hurt.
Yeah, it did. That was a bit much.
Honestly, I know this is sound really bad, but the most convincing part of this film that I actually liked was the girl's acting.
Yeah.
The rest of it, it was definitely. I'm hoping that if it's their first one, that they've got a lot of stuff to work on. If it's not, then
yeah. I mean,
it's a good idea.
Yeah.
I like the premise and the sort of idea they had behind it, but the execution of it just
it wasn't great. So you know, as you say, the idea was quite good. Some of the tension build-up stuff was quite good, and the final jump scare thing at the end was reasonably good. Yeah, I hope it's like an early attempt, and that they can use this to build on and see where they kind of need to strengthen their filmmaking. But yeah, I don't know. Other than that, the second short one is something completely different, really weird. This is a kind of sci-fi short film called Bring On Tomorrow. It's on Zero Sci-Fi and Zero Shorts, made by Bruno Cepelina. And again, not a lot I can say more on that. The synopsis says In a future world, an evil mastermind tries to capture a city and destroy everything by taking control of robots. They target the chief engineer of Way, who has the power to stop it. The hero, in his Way concept car, takes on the evil hordes head on. Ta-da.
Yes.
Now, what I will say about this before we get into what we think of it is the fact that this actually started as a film to show off the Way concept car to engineering companies. So the whole idea of this originally was just as an advert to show what Way could do in making a concept car.
Wow.
What do you think?
Honestly, I really liked it.
Yeah, no,
It had a bit of an iRobot feel to it, I will say,
yeah,
but liked it. The graphics in it were amazing.
yeah,
Um, the acting in it, I thought was great. Was a bit confused about why it had. They would speak in English. It had, I'm guessing, Japanese or Chinese subtitles, and then English subtitles underneath them.
yeah, I know.
Bit
Because it was,
confusing on that, but other than that, I really liked it. I loved um, the overlay of graphics they did as well, when the little girl was in the car and the sort of hologram that she was seeing, I thought was very well done.
yeah,
Um, I just love the whole thing about it. It's such a great idea and
yeah, oh
great,
no, I agree. The
such a
graphics
great
were
little film.
fantastic. They were just so well done.
Yeah,
It is a really interesting idea, really well done. Um, I'd like to see it expanded on and do something, not
yeah,
necessarily with this film, but with like the idea
yeah,
and you use those graphics like that. It would
yeah.
be really good to
The thing
watch.
is, to me, it makes this more impressive. The fact that now I know that it was meant to be a TV advert or an advert. It
Yeah,
was used to advertise to people what they could do, and
yeah,
it's not even a fit meant to be that sort of film. If they had the money and the time to make a film,
yeah.
I would
Oh
love
yeah.
to see what these could do.
It could be quite incredible, to be honest.
Yeah,
It's got a fantastic look to it. It's just it's really good. I
it
really
is.
like it. Okay, so onto the feature film. Now the feature film, 2008 film called The Midnight Meat Train. This was directed by Raishi Kitamura, who let's see what else he's done. Down to Hell in 1997, Alive in 2002, Aragami in 2003, Godzilla Final Wars 2004, No One Lives 2012, Downrange 2017, and Nightmare Cinema in 2018. Now, the writers for this. Now, this was based on a story written by Clive Barker. Now, for anybody who doesn't know Clive Barker, he did some short films and things in the 1970s. This is all things he wrote. These are all things he wrote, okay? Underworld, either wrote the original story or he wrote the screenplay to do with all of these, okay?
Yeah.
Underworld 1985, Rawhead Rex in 1986, Hellraiser in 1987. He did some TV shows and video games in the 80s. Hellbound, Hellraiser 2 in 1988. He did some more video games in 1990s. Nightbreed in 1990, Hellraiser 3, Hell on Earth 1992, Candyman 1992, Candyman Farewell to the Flesh 1995, Lord of Illusions 1995, Quicksilver Highway 1997, Candyman Day of the Dead 1999, Hellraiser Inferno 2000. He did some video games and TV shows in the 2000s. Hellraiser Hellseeker in 2002, Saint Sinner in 2002, Hellraiser Deader in 2005, Hellraiser Hellworld in 2005, Book of Blood 2009, Dread 2009, Hellraiser Revelations 2011, Hellraiser Judgment 2018. He did some TV shows in the 2010s. Books of Blood to 2020, Candyman 2021, Zug Zombies versus Gladiators, which I really want to watch. Hellraiser 2022, and that's it. Just a few things. The screenplay for this was written by Jeff Buhler, who did some short films in the 2010s and TV series in 2010s, but he also wrote Eden Sanitarium in 2008, ABCs of Death 2, 2014, The Prodigy in 2019, Pet Cemetery 2019, Jacob's Ladder 2019, The Grudge 2020, Studio 666 2022, Down Satan and Black River, which haven't come out yet. So he's done pretty well to writing screenplays.
Just a bit.
Now the cast. Start off with Bradley Cooper, who was in My Little Eye in 2002, Case 39 2009, Limitless 2011, Guardians of the Galaxy 2014, 10 Cloverfield Lane 2016, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 2017, Avengers Infinity War 2018, Avengers Endgame 2019, Thor Love and Thunder 2022, Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special in 2022, and Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, which comes out next year. For anybody that doesn't know, Bradley Cooper does the voice of Rocket Raccoon.
I'd like to add as well, because I have had some people say to me, we're not listing in every films they do. These are just ones that to do with horror or sci-fi.
Yeah.
We know that Bradley Cooper's been in a lot more films, and we could be here forever.
Absolutely, yeah. Then we've got Leslie Bibb, who was in Trick or Treat in 2007, Iron Man in 2008, Iron Man 2 2010, Hell Baby in 2013, Flight 7500 in 2014, The Babysitter in 2017, Babysitter Killer Queen in 2020, and The Inhabitant in 2022. And she was also in been in some TV series in the 2020s. Then we have Brooke Shields, who was in Alice, Sweet Alice in 1976, Stalking Laura in 1993, Freaked in 1993, which is brilliant. We're going to have to do that one day. And she did some TV series in the 1990s, 2000s, and 2010s. Then we have Vinnie Jones. Vinnie Jones did Slipstream in 20. These are again only horror and sci-fi. Slipstream in 2005, Mysterious Island 2005, X-Men: The Last Stand 2006, Tooth and Nail 2007, Legend of the Bog in 2009, The Bleeding 2009, Age of the Dragons in 2011, Reaper 2014, The Calculator 2014, Toxin 2015, Awaken 2015, Bite 2015, and he did some TV series stuff in 2010s. Yeah. Then we've got Roger Bart, who was in The Stepford Wives in 2004, Hostel Part 2 in 2007, Excision in 2012. He did some TV series in the 2010s as well. Smiley 2012, April Apocalypse 2013, and Ghostlight in 2018. We've got Tony Curran, who did some TV series in the 1990s. He was in Blade 2 in 2002, The League of the Extraordinary Gentlemen in 2003. He was in TV series in 2010, including Doctor Who.
Yep.
Underworld Evolution 2006, The Present 2010, X-Men First Class 2011, Thor: The Dark World in 2013, Awaiting in 2015, and Eat Locals in 2017. I'm running out of thinking. We got Barbara Eve Harris, who was in Ghost of a Chance in 1987, Tech War, Tech Justice in 1994, The Amazing Spider-Man in 2012. She did TV series in the 90s, 2000s, 2010s, and 2020s, and she was in Transformers: The Last Night in 2017.
Yep.
We have Peter Jacobson, who did TV series in the 1990s, 2000s, 2010s, 2020s. He was in Transformers in 2007 and Limbo in 2019. Stephanie Mace, who did nothing else of any interest to us at all. And then I'm gonna go to this one. Nori Sato, who performed under the name Nori, was in Hellgate in 2011 and did TV series in 2010s and 2020s. Now, the last person I'm going to go to is Ted Raimi. Now, Ted Raimi is actually more known as he's known as a director. But this is a list of films that Ted Raimi has been in, other than this, as an actor. So, The Evil Dead, 1981. Thou Shalt Not Kill Except, 1983. Evil Dead 2, 1987. Blood Rage, 1987. Intruder, 1989. Shocker, 1989. He did some TV stuff in the 1980s. Darkman, 1990. He did some TV stuff in the TV series in the 1990s. Candyman, 1992. Army of Darkness, 1992. Maniac Cop 3, Badge of Silence, 1992. Skinner, 1993. The First Man, 1996. Wishmaster, 1997. The Attic Expeditions in 2001. Spider, 2002. Did some TV series in the 2000s as well. Spider-Man 2 in 2004. The Grudge, 2004. The Man with the Screaming Brain in 2005. Spider-Man 3, 2007. Millennium Crisis, 2007. Planet Raptor, 2007. Drag Me to Hell, 2009. Attack of the 50-Foot Cheerleader in 2012. There's some TV series in the 2010s. Darkness Rising, which hasn't come out yet, I don't think, and then TV series in the 2020s. And he is a film director.
Yeah, well, I would like to add as well. There is one person. I don't know whether or not you recognised him. I did. There is one person who's in it, and he's only in this film for about a minute.
Right.
But it's Quentin Jackson.
Right.
Well, actually, sorry, I should use his real name. Quentin Rampage Jackson. He is actually a UFC fighter, but
All right.
for the terms of anyone watching films on that, he's also the new generation A Team's Mr. T.
Okay.
He's in I don't know, obviously you recognise part of the film where there's a coloured guy who walks in, he's a bit thuggish and he tries to fight Vinnie
Yeah.
Jones. That's
Yeah.
Quentin Jackson.
Okay. Well, there you
Yeah,
go.
he's in it for about 2 minutes and that's it. But he then saying the fact that he's done a lot of action films and stuff like that, obviously because he's very very skilled fighter.
Yeah.
Uh, but as I said, he played Mr. T. Well, sorry, B.A. Baracus in this. He played that in the A Team. He just and the fact that he's quite a big name within the UFC thing and within the A Team season. And in fact, he's in this for fight of saying most about 2 minutes. I
Yeah.
just thought was hilarious.
Well, the synopsis for this film says a photographer's obsession. Now, that was me going backwards. I'll start again. The synopsis says a
Photographer.
a photographer's obsessive pursuit of dark subject matter leads him into the path of a serial killer who stalks late night commuters, ultimately butchering them in the most gruesome ways.
Yeah, see, I read the synopsis to this before I'd watched anything to do with the film,
Right.
and it shows that I'm more into sci-fi stuff because when it said dark subject matter, I automatically went, "Oh, it's about space." Even though I read the title of the film.
Right. So I've got to say something here. I am not, on the whole, I am not a huge fan of two things. I'm not a huge fan of Vinnie Jones, and I am not a huge fan of blood splattered slasher movies.
No. I
But
did
I
think that when we watched
absolutely
this.
love this film.
Yeah.
I think it is brilliant.
I thought the exact same thing. Like the stuff I've seen Vinnie Jones in, he plays.
Vinnie Jones.
Yeah, he plays Vinnie Jones, but no, he's sort of typically a hard man, sort of But he's always the East End hard man. He's always sort of the thug, the brute. And yeah, okay, he's this and this, but he doesn't talk,
No,
which doesn't ruin it. It means it doesn't ruin the film at all because of the fact he's him
it's
trying
more
to have
than
a
that.
dodgy American accent.
His whole demeanor and the atmosphere around him is just so dark. It's so intense.
Yeah,
It's
and
brilliant.
it's scary because it genuinely suits him.
Yeah.
But
I think the acting is fantastic. I mean,
oh yeah,
you've got really good actors in this. I mean, Bradley Cooper is an amazing actor.
yeah. But the thing is, even with Bradley Cooper's character, the fact that a lot of people will know him for playing, yeah, a few serious roles, but a lot more comedic roles.
Yeah,
Like he's been in, as I said, obviously with Guardians of the Galaxy stuff. Rocket is the comedic factor in it.
yeah, yeah,
A lot of the other stuff he's done, he does the whole comedy aspect very well. The
yeah,
twist and the darkness that follows him in this film as well.
absolutely.
I'm not. I will say I'm not a big fan of Bradley Cooper, other than Guardians of the Galaxy.
See, I don't know. I like I
But
like Bradley Cooper. I
the
think he's a really good
the
actor.
darkness that he had in this film and
Oh yeah.
how well he done it changed
What I
my mind.
liked about this film is the fact that you have no idea what's going on. You discover what's going on at, through him at the same kind of time as he does. You see a few little bits of other
Yeah.
stuff, but mostly you discover what's going on when he does.
Well, I would use the term discover what's going on very loosely.
Yeah. Yes. Okay.
Because even by the end of the film, I still sat there
Um,
going, what's going on?
the thing that got me was that I thought that there were a few twists in this film, and I thought, oh right, that's it then. And then they got to the end, and there was an even further twist,
Yeah.
which was kind of like, wow, I wasn't expecting that, to be honest.
No, and I think I like that aspect about it is that it sort of leads you to different faults in the path and it goes down and you keep thinking there's different things. Oh, this is what's going to happen now.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
then it splits off again. And I like the whole twist and turns with that. I love, like, I was saying, I agree with you. I'm not a big fan of slasher films or like blood films that showing blood just for the sake of showing blood. There's not. I don't see the point in it.
yeah.
But I genuinely would love to know how many gallons of fake blood they use
Oh,
for this
yeah,
because it does seem to be everywhere,
absolutely. And
especially in the train.
the effects were fantastic. I mean,
Oh,
the effects of the dead bodies, the mutilating of them, and all that kind of stuff, and the sort of. Without giving away too much, there's one bit that I absolutely when he pulls this guy's eyeball out, it was
well,
just
I, ju- I,
incredible.
I've sat there and I've said on this and to many people so many times before, I don't cringe that easily. I
Yeah,
I oh hang on, I don't cringe that easily. I can genuinely sit and watch loads of horror films. At times I've freaked other people out when I've laughed at them and stuff like that.
yeah,
But watching the scene where he's destroying the evidence of who it is,
yeah,
I genuinely sat there going, "Ow, ow!" Like I felt the pain of it, and
yes,
it's just, it
absolutely,
was so well done.
yeah. And I liked as well the fact that the film itself had this kind of dirty, sort of gritty look to it, a dark
Yeah,
look to it, which really
well,
sort of worked well.
it for me watching it that way, it's the fact that it was almost following on what Bradley Cooper's character was trying to do with his photography,
Yeah,
which is he was trying to find the rawness of the city.
yeah,
And this film, the way it was filmed, did that. It was that sort of dark, dank, sort of grainy feel to it that
yeah,
you sit there and like you would be if you were looking around things at night or you were doing things by light of the subway and the underground. You would have that sort of almost lit up but flickering and sort of
yeah,
weird sort of feel to the lights.
absolutely. And it's something about to be honest, I this came out in what did I say, 2018,
Yeah, I know it's 2008. I think it is actually.
was it?
Uh,
2008, yeah. This came out in 2008, and I just watched this. And when I got to the end of it, I thought, oh, that was brilliant. I loved it. And all I could think was, how did I not know about this film? How
I
have I
did
not heard of it?
I did the exact same thing. When you sent it to me, and I thought, okay, this is going to be even before I read to see who was in it. I thought, oh, this is going to be a sort of a B-list movie. It's going to be really awful. I
Yeah,
read the cast list, and I was like, oh, maybe it's not known because it is awful, even with these people in it. Obviously, we all know that
yeah,
certain films that people do that sort of on the list of, oh, you've made four great ones, you need to just write one off now, and it's
yeah,
going to
yeah,
tank. And I thought that's what this film was going to be. And then I got to the end of it, and I was like, how have I never seen this film before?
yeah. I've never even heard of it before.
No,
I've never seen it on any lists of films or anything. And I think it's brilliant.
yeah,
It's really,
it's
really a good film.
I agree with you. There's some, like you said, there's some of the graphics in it, and the way it's slowed down as well.
Yeah,
The way that certain kills that were in it were slowed down, and it showed you a lot more, not a lot more detail, but it showed you details that a normal speed you would have missed.
yeah.
And I think the way that it was done and the way that it wasn't like over the top done. It was just the right amount of sort of oh my god factor to it.
And to be honest, the other thing that I loved about it was I haven't seen that many films where the weapon of choice to kill all these people was an absolutely enormous meat tenderizer.
Yeah,
I mean, that thing was
it's
huge.
the thing is as well. There's certain parts of the film that I liked that were shown but never explained. Like the
Yeah.
bits that Vinnie Jones's character when he's in the bathroom
Yes.
cuts off himself and
I don't.
puts in masonry jars.
I
I
don't.
sat
Yeah.
there and I'm like, what the hell was all that about?
Yeah. I don't know. That was really weird. That's never explained.
No, and it's sort of I will say like the parts in this that like there's people that play parts in this that I think amazing amazing at playing dark characters like Tony Curran.
Oh yeah.
I think is like the first film I ever see him in was Underworld.
All right.
Like
Yeah.
I see him in properly as the sort of one of the head vampires in Underworld, and even that I was like, okay, yeah, he's done. And ever since I've watched him in different films, like different times, where he plays these dark characters and plays these sort of weird and twisted ones, but the look he had because he's only in it a little bit, and he doesn't actually do anything really. He's the train driver.
It's not right until the end. Yeah.
No,
Then he
it's not right
actually.
until the end where it sort of explains a little bit about who he is, but
Yeah.
doesn't as well.
Yeah.
And it's just sort of, but it's even that. It's just the sort of the the non the non expression on his face, the sort of the blankness to what's going on, and just
Yeah.
talking and like you should accept everything that's going on and that is completely normal. It just I sat there afterwards and I was like, that had been anyone else I know that could have sort of thought might have fit that part. I genuinely don't think they would have had the perfect look for that
No.
face.
No.
Tony Karen, I think, is just that look suited him so well.
Yeah, I mean, he's a good actor. He don't think he gets enough parts really.
What I liked as well was the fact that I sat there the whole way through, and I thought, I know Vinnie Jones talks a lot. Every film he's been in, he talks, and I sat there with this, and I was like, why isn't he said a word?
Yeah,
Why isn't it like? And then right at the end, where he goes to say, he says what he does, and I'm like,
yeah,
that sounded weird. And then what happens afterwards? I'm like, oh,
yeah,
it's the fact that that little connection that you make of why he's silent, why he doesn't say a word, why he's everything he does is a bit muffled,
yeah, yeah.
and then that's
It's,
that connection to it.
it's interesting because the other film of his that I really like is Gone in 60 Seconds, and he doesn't say anything all the way through that film until right at the end as
Yeah,
well.
see, the problem is for me, Vinnie Jones's character or Vinnie Jones as a person and
Mm.
acting was ruined for me when I see him in X Men. Playing Juggernaut in X Men just ruined it.
Yeah, I don't know.
But no, it's just all of this though. I genuinely liked. I liked the
Yeah,
fact that
no, I agree.
there was so much at the end of it. I sat there, I was like, but and it left me with so many questions. Like, I was sitting there like, but what is going on?
Yes,
Like, what
I
is
know.
happening? Like, because explain. It's sort of almost like they start explaining it and then go, "Well, that's enough of the story. We're going to go on to something else now."
Yeah.
And it's like, no, I want to know more. I want to know what goes on, what happens, what
But I
I
quite
like.
like the fact that they leave it like that. You still don't know exactly what's happening. You know
What I
most of what's happening, but not everything.
what I liked is the end bit where it sort of comes full circle. And
Yeah,
obviously, I'm not going to say exactly what goes on because it's still a newish film for people to go out and see it. But the fact that it goes full circle and you sit there at the end of it and go, "Oh, this is okay." That and it's you sit there afterwards like, "This is weird." And I'm saying I sat there and like, I want to know what goes on now. I want to know
yeah.
if it carries on or if he fights back or what. And
It's yeah, I don't know. I think it's preferable for them not to make any kind of like sequels or anything and just leave it as it is because I really like it.
yeah, well, it's the fact I sat there with when the stuff was going on with the copper when she
Mm,
went to, and I was like. But hang on, there's some sort of corruption going on.
yeah,
Even that is not really explained. They say about the fact there's a few people that know,
yeah,
but it's not explained of who they are, what they are, like how many there are, like, and it's just like, and it's in the fact that they say they all come about by stumbling onto it, and
yeah.
I just sounded like this is such a bizarre film.
It is, but it's brilliant as well. I
Yeah,
love it. I quite happily watch it again.
I would. The thing is, like I said, I never, I don't really rate Bradley Cooper as an actor, like as a, well, I
Mm,
didn't. Obviously, I liked him as the voice he does as God in Rocket and stuff like that. But he's this film changed my opinion of him because of the fact I did the same thing. I see him as this comedic actor that
yeah,
sort of everything's sort of a bit of a joke every film that he's in. I was like, well, they're going to turn that as into for a horror film, and the way they did it, I just sat there and thought, you know what, it's changed my opinion of him.
yeah, yeah. No, I can see that. Okay, so we had three films there. We got the From Outside, which is okay, whatever. We got the I can't remember the name of the other one.
Bring me tomorrow. Bring
Bring
on
Me
tomorrow.
Tomorrow. Bring On Tomorrow. Yes, that's a good graphic sort of design film, which has got some great bits in it. And Midnight Meat Train, which is excellent, and I would recommend to anybody to watch. If you love a bit of blood and guts, and you like a good sort of like more of a it's really weird because it's kind of like got all the elements of a drama, but with a slasher movie put in the middle of it.
Yeah, I will say to anyone, and this is the biggest disclaimer I'm ever going to put on any of these podcasts we do. Please be careful what you click on when you search up Midnight Meat Train. I'm
Okay,
speaking to now, and I'm not going to go into it. I'm speaking from experience. Be very careful.
okay. Well, I will I will put the link up to all these films as I always
Oh no,
do.
I'm just thinking if anyone wants to Google it,
Yeah.
please be careful. Click on the IMDb page. Click on the film if you have to. Just don't click on any other links.
Okay.
'Cause I don't know what
Right.
will be there.
There you go. Thank you very much, Scott, for joining me again.
It's okay. Thank you for letting me be part of this.
And thank you to anybody and everybody for listening, watching, hearing, or whatever else
Smelling.
you're doing. And we will see you, you will see us, and things will see other things again next time. Until then, goodbye.
Bye.
The Sciforror Film Podcast.